And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Rex April Madness Group D. We just wrapped up with our first series. It was a banger, went all the way to the ace match, and now we are here with our second series of the group. And spawning in the right-hand corner here of Killer's Mile, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, the Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our second match of the broadcast. And coming into this, it's going to be a hard one to call here. I mean, again, Rogue, he's not the most active of players. He doesn't play too often and too much in these online events. But every now and then we're able to catch him. And Rogue, he does have a distinct style. Similar to his ZVP, his ZVT is also very, in a sense, samey. As I'd say, pool before gas. Interesting. Are we going gasless? On Killer's Mile? Oh, okay. Okay, I can see the logic. Okay, let's go. But Rogue, he's very fond of playing more defensive, at least until Lurker Tech, known for his defensive play. And this is an interesting variation here that we have yet to see and yet to experience. We are going for the gasless opener. We're going for a third hatchery before gases. Now, you can do this on larger maps like Abyssal Reef, like Neo Violet Square, like King's Cove, for example. Here on Killer's Mile, the rush distance by ground is not as large and not as long as those maps, but there is one shared feature, and that is how defendable this area is. On some of the maps that I just mentioned, the natural base is very secure. As you can see here, it doesn't take much to wall off this location. And what does that mean? That means you can get away with defending your third base with purely queens and lings. Now, I say that the third base is late. The third base, this is gasless, that is true, but the third base is late here for Rogue. Because it's late, it actually is going to mask the build and does hide the gasless opener a little bit longer, as the third base is being taken at a more standard timing. Interesting. So it's not as greedy. Wait, did he skip his lings? Just good. The greed here is great. He skipped his lings, but he made 2 lings, that is true, but only 2 lings. They do get across the map. They will delay the CC, at least they attempt to, but Marines are in position. The lings are going to be forced back. ByuN, he does defend. He defends, he scouts, checking his vision, he confirms no gases. Again, greedy build here by Rogue. I do apologize for some of the dropped frames here. I will try to fix this after this initial game. We'll try to turn on the VPN. I will do my best. We'll get that going. That's one of those things where the Korean server is sometimes it cooperates, sometimes it doesn't cooperate. Smurge, man. As Rogue is opening Roach, right, I should have mentioned that as well. When it comes to gases openers, because your gases are so late, because link speed is so delayed, you just skip link speed. You just go straight into Roaches, and you can see that, as we mentioned, that this area is very secure, very narrow, so he's just walling up. He's just walling up that ramp, and he's ensuring that he only has to focus on defense at the third base, which is why you can get away with skipping link speed, and why you can get away with gasless builds. As we are defending with purely queen and just queen. So pure queen defense. As there is the wall. Behind this, ByuN getting his third CC on location. Very greedy here by ByuN, but considering the greed of Rogue and considering that there's no link speed, he knows he can't get away with it. Meanwhile, does snipe an Overlord. Nice pickoff. Overlord goes down. Hellions, they do bypass the Queens. They're going for the mineral line. Queen's out of position. But the wall is looking solid. 2 drones go down. A nice pickoff, getting a third drone as well. Very nice. Yeah, ByuN is popping up. Meanwhile, back at home, zoning another Overlord away. Doesn't get much vision here, but we do have a 2-on-1. Okay, I should say 3cc 2-on-1. True. So a very economic build here, but this leads into a very heavy bio timing. It does mean that the Hellion investment is very low. 4 Hellions. 4 Hellions at most into mass bio production, into that stim timing. Ideally, the stim is lined up with the Metamax. As Starport is on the way. Getting ready for another add-on swap. Getting ready for that stim timing. Okay, so there's a lot coming into this. Now, when it comes to Rogue's build, I did mention earlier that he's very fond of being defensive until Lurker Tech. We'll see if he gets into +1 range. Right now, he has +1 carapace. This could still be Roach Ravager into Ling Bane Roach Ravager, but the lair is on the way, and we'll see if the plan is to go for a Hydrogen into a Lurker Tech, which is what I'm leaning towards, just because of the tendencies of Rogue. But now, Roach Speed is on the way. The lair is now done. Rogue, he does cut workers here at 3 base saturation, making a lot of roaches. A lot of roaches are being built. ByuN fending on the right hand side. Very early move out. This is very ByuN. Basically, this is a bit of an earlier push, but he's boosting across the map with the Medivacs. Medivacs a boost across the meetup with the main army. This means that ByuN he hits a couple of seconds sooner. Couple of seconds sooner here. Going for the 4th. And we'll see if we can force a cancel. Dust him in. Roach is in position. And Rogue, he has still not been droning. Double jump into the main. Rogue trying to keep up. Roach speed is still not yet done. Does defend in time. Yeah, just barely. Does deflect. Protects the main. Helly's a poking on the left hand side. Roach is in position. Rogue, he does hold. And Rogue, he's still not droning. He's still not droning. He's not saturating that that 4th base. Just pure roaches. Not even Ravagers, by the way. Rogue is going for a 3-base all-in. So a massive roach 3-base all-in. Drop into the main base. Does get some damage done. 1 queen does fall. Back at home. What do we have to defend? 1 tank. 1 tank. A couple of marines. Boys are being pulled. And Rogue, he does catch ByuN with his pants down. The pants are down. Bobby is not ready. The boys are being pulled once again. And so many SCV kills here. This is going to be brutal. And he's not going to hold. Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold on. There's only a handful of marines left. Again, Rogue, he committed to the all-in. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will take game number 1. GG. Does take a lead. Does take game 1. And we'll see if ByuN can recover here again. ByuN just caught with his pants down, going for his own economic build, which was fine, but unfortunately he just didn't realize how aggressive Rogue was being. Didn't recognize that it was going to be an all-in. Again, there were a couple of roaches, a couple of Ravagers towards the end, but just pure roach off of just under 3-base saturation. And from there, Rogue takes the lead. Does take a lead, and we'll see if ByuN can recover and force the ace match. Game 2, Amygdala. Looks like our players, they need a moment. Once again, they do need 1 moment here. So we're getting ready for game 2. Amygdala is going to be an interesting one. We spoke about this previously during the Max Pack series about how Amygdala has limited attack paths, so it is easier to scout and easier to see this coming. Referring to Killer's Mile, we did actually mention, if you recall, how aggressive you can be on Killer's Mile. I think we actually spoke more about it during the Max Pack series as well, about how exposed some of the bases are, specifically the 3rd base, how short the rush distance is as well. So the all-in from Rogue makes more sense on Killer's Mile. That was also why I was a little bit concerned about going for a gasless opener on the map, is because of the rush distance. But here in Amygdala, the reverse is true, where the rush distance is longer. This map is more defendable, and an all-in is going to be less effective here on Amygdala. So we'll see how our players do adjust and what they go for. As I do not expect the same build here from Rogue, not at all. From ByuN, maybe. We'll see. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, leading the series 1-0, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Terran player from South Korea representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. So in the chat, that could be my wall. Ah, no. Not like this. Not like this. Referring to the Ryung wall. Of course, of course. Smooch, smooch. We've all been there. We've all been there. Yeah. As this time Rogue going hatch first, we're imagining that he does go for hatch gas pool. That's what I would imagine. Likewise, ByuN going for his own standard opener as well. We'll see where we deviate. We'll see if we do go for something a little bit different. As a reminder, last game ByuN did go 3cc 2-on-1. I guess technically 3-1-1. And we'll see what Rogue goes for this time as gases are being taken, so a standard opener. So hatch gas pool, this time not gasless, this time not cutting corners. Again, unlike the previous map, this map is more open when it comes to its natural and when it comes to its third base, so it's not as defendable, it's not as easy or borderline. I wouldn't say impossible, it's not as easy, it's more abusable, more difficult to get away with something like a gasless build on Amygdala. I think we've seen Dark try it, and maybe succeed as well, but it's difficult. So this time, standard gas timing, which means link speed, which means most likely Link Bane. I say most likely Link Bane. Rogue, he can still play Roach, and Rogue, he does enjoy opening Roach in this matchup. It's a very safe way to open up, true. So may do so again. Here we go. Want to see Rogue bring back Talon Claws. In this matchup, that would be wild. That'd be wild. I mean, he may play Roaches at least. Talon Claws, I don't know if I'd go that far, but we'll see, we'll see. As ByuN, he does rotate between the bases. Behind this, third TC is on the way. That's going to be third TC before Starport. Economic build here by ByuN. Meanwhile, Rogue settling in. But yes, good morning, Volts. I'm assuming morning, aka Cicada. As ByuN pokes in, does pull away. Behind this, we have our 3cc 1-1-1. No early stim timing shenanigans this time. And we've yet to determine the tech path here of Rogue. So far, just droning, just saturating. As there is no add-on swap, that's what I was curious about. The tech lab is delayed here for ByuN, so without the tech lab going for a Viking first into, I would imagine, earlier stim timing. Hunting down the Overlords. And this can potentially lead into an early Liberator as well. So it can lead into Liberator Harass. Yep, speaking of, Liberator's on the way. And earlier stim. Meanwhile, back at home, Rogue's still droning, still saturating. Is aware of the Vikings, so he knows to be ready for potential Liberators. He's aware. As he fans out with his Lings. We do have the W Chamber follow-up, so it looks like Rogue is going into Link Bane, not into Roaches this time. So more standard Link Bane play instead, which I'm not opposed to. Let's go. As ByuN is being active. We spoke earlier about how it is a little bit more difficult to open up gases on this map. That is true. At the same time, it's also more difficult for the Hellions to get damage done. Rotating between the third base, the natural, the fourth base can be quite difficult here just because rotations take so long on Amygdala. We can see that ByuN is being more defensive. This also means that the creep is going uncontested early on. So the creep is going to be a little bit more healthy here for Rogue. We do have those melee and carapace upgrades on the way. I will say that the lair should be soon on the horizon here for Rogue. It is a much later lair timing here for Rogue, so very greedy here. This does mean that Baneling's speed is going to be delayed in favor of these upgrades. So much later baneling speed. So Hellions do fan out. This is almost a 6-minute lair time. Jesus. Part of me feels like this is unintentional. I'll be honest. Like, it's very late. Even when it comes to standard 1-1 timings. And this might even be this might be crazy enough to be 1-1 into 2-2 into Infestation Bit into Ultra Tech. Are we gonna skip banelings? No shot. Because I believe the lair is lined up for 2-2. I believe this is lined up for that. Gases are being taken. Show us that infestation pit. That's what I'm waiting for. If that's the case, this looks like a me and Micah build. Like me and Micah, he was known a couple of years ago at this point for rushing 2-2 and rushing into ultras. Technically, he would rush into 2-2 faster than this, which was crazy. Insane. Yeah, there it is. Okay, infestation bit, but ooh, he's going into the Hydra Den. Regardless, this is very greedy, skipping banelings like this while playing. Like it's just straight up Ling Hydra Lurker. Now, on the one hand, it does mean that we have an abundance of gas to work with. True. So that Lurker timing is going to hit very hard. But this is so risky. It's so I mean, if ByuN hit his 7-minute timing, we can see that ByuN, he's getting a second factory, double gases as well. 1-1 is finishing up, and this usually entails a move out, but ByuN is being more defensive. ByuN is being more defensive. He is not pushing. He's getting his 4th CC on location, or at least trying to, which means Rogue is getting away with this. He's getting away with a lot of greed here. He's playing Ling Bane without the Bane. It's so risky. Like, Lings, they cannot fight this head on. If ByuN was aggressive with this army, then Rogue would be in trouble. But again, Rogue, he's rushing into the Hive, and again, initially I assumed it was rushing into Hive, rushing into Ultras, but it's going to be rushing into Hive, rushing into Ultras instead. And again, Rogue has so much gas to work with, getting into +1 range. ByuN is now being aggressive, and there's still a window here. There's still a timing. Can ByuN kill Rogue before Lurker Tech? It's still possible. Again, we have Hellbat support against a purely Ling Hydra army. Like, it's it's crazy. Now, the best case scenario is for Rogue to apply pressure on the right-hand side and to force ByuN back home. ByuN, he will kill this expansion. There's no saving this. Rogue, he responds. He rotates over. We can see a wall of stack defense. I mean, this makes sense. This lines up with how difficult it is to defend without banelings. So just a wall of spine crawlers. Lurkers are morphing in. And Rogue, he's done it. Like, Rogue, what did he just lose? He lost the base, but that's it. Like, ByuN, he's not pushing in. He's not pushing further. ByuN is respecting Rogue so much. Too much, I would say. And this Lurker timing is going to be crazy. It is crazy. It's very crazy. Ay. How many lunkers does he have? 7, soon to be 11. 11 lunkers. Lings, they go for run by. They shouldn't get much done here. They get 1 tank. Oh, they get 2. 2 tanks getting 3? No shot. 3 tanks go. That's huge. 3 tanks go down. The tank count here being stifled. I mean, again, tanks, they're your backbone against this kind of army, but without those 3 tanks, that is huge. Lurkers, they move in, they get scouted. Now ByuN knows. ByuN, he's now aware of the lunkers. As we're waiting for the Vipers. Vipers are on the way. Now getting up to how many? 13 Lurkers. Wings, they hit a transfuse. And Rogue, he will defend. Will defend back at home. Ling Raman moving in, getting another tank. No shot. Gets another 4. That's 4 tanks going down. Ay. How many tanks are there left? There's 5. Again, this should be 9 tanks, by the way. ByuN is down to 5. As Rogue is moving out, we'll deny the gold mining. Oof. Mineral line does fall. And how many Vipers do we have here? We have one. One? Okay. I could have sworn I saw more on the way. Only one Viper. But alas, the Ghosts are out of position. He's gonna get 1, 2 tanks. Bio army comes in from behind. But alas, Rogue is all over this. And again, we have a wall of spine crawlers here to defend. So Rogue, he's secure here on the right hand side. As he goes for another Ling run by and gets another tank and a Ghost. That's 5. That's 5 tanks these Ling run bys. So a very unorthodox playstyle here from Rogue, and it's so far working out well. A lot of it did come down to the passivity of ByuN. ByuN was very passive in the mid game, which allowed this to happen. Meanwhile, it's going to be a kill. Yeah, kill not a cancel on the expansion. Massive pickup. Rogue otherwise distracted. ByuN finding more damage. Dropping into the main. Does get on top of the two of those lurkers. Brings down 2. Brings down almost 3. 3 lurkers go down. Drop into the main. And Rogue having a hard time keeping up. We're bleeding out 2 queens. 3rd queen as well. Oh, barely not. But has Rogue taken too long? Is my concern as brutal snipe. But I would have assumed that Rogue wanted to hit a strong timing with a maxed out army with lurkers and vipers and try to break ByuN. That was my assumption, but that is not happening. Instead, Rogue is playing it slow. He's playing it slow. Now we get Banelings on the way. Baneling speed is done, thankfully, but we only have +2 melee. But yeah, Rogue, he's instead slowing the game down. He defends and secures his southern bases. Now going for a Mass Overseer. We've seen this before. Going for Nidus Worms, Mass Overseer, Mass Lurker. This is kind of Rogue's endgame and his typical goal in ZVT. If you remember, I was referring to this style in game 1, but Rogue went for an all-in instead. But here we're seeing it in game number 2. This is more in line with what Rogue, or what he prefers. We spoke about this about his ZVP and his ZVT as well. Rogue, he does like slowing the game down to a crawl, maxing out with Mass Lurker, and then going for one big win, one big push, going for one big Nidus. So again, this is where Rogue is at his most comfortable, and we'll see if ByuN can keep up. Now, bearing in mind that ByuN, he has played against the style before. ByuN, I mean, I say ByuN, a lot of the Terran players now are a lot more familiar with this, as this was initially revealed in Star Zagor. This was what, last year, November? Like November-ish or October of last year? Yeah, October. And so far, you can see him shutting down those changelings. Like, this is a style that worked really well that 1 month, and then everyone got used to it. Well, I should say everyone became aware of it, is a better way of putting it. And then Rogue found less success. As changelings, they're all falling. So far, we haven't seen any changelings break through. Now, the goal and the power of Mass Overseer is also to mask the lurkers. Basically, whenever we see a big fight, the Overseers should be on top of the lurkers to make it so that ByuN cannot click on the lurkers and snipe them. So these Overseers have multiple uses when it comes to protecting the lurkers and also for their changelings. That's another wave of changelings on the way. Does get scattered. Nice snipes here on the Hydras. Tank volleys here on the changelings. And one changeling does make it through. Sometimes one is all it takes. So changelings, they do get past. You see, ByuN, he noticed. He does notice. He does notice changelings. Banelings, they roll in the right hand side. Not bad. They deny an expansion. Changelings are denied. You can see ByuN does take it seriously. And he does take down an expansion. Base is going down. More changelings on the way. Nidus Worm into the natural. Ooh, Ghost getting caught out. Massive pickup. He gets 3. 3 Ghosts go down. Yeah, brutal loss there for ByuN. Ooh, these Lurkers are exposed. No detection here. No Overseers, despite having, what, like 20 Overseers? 33 even. Yeah, no Overseers in position. 2 Lurkers go down. Double Nidus into the main. Changelings did make it in. That's ByuN. He does notice. He does respond, but it's going to be a late reaction here from ByuN. This is also creating an opening. As Rogue, he doesn't commit. Lurkers are inside, but doesn't quite commit. Not this time. But again, the army's out of position, going for the planetary, and this planetary should go down. ByuN nowhere to be found. He now rotates. It's going to be 10 SCV kills. And you could argue that, again, this is because of the Nidus Worms. And we have mass changeling inside the main base as well, by the way. But the Nidus did drag ByuN out of position. Another Nidus into the main. And you can see that once the ball starts rolling, then it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop as now there are changelings everywhere. Now ByuN, he just lost 2 bases. He lost top left and bottom right. Now both players do have a bank, that is true, but ByuN has had no pushing power. He's been stuck at home the entire time, stuck defending. Checking Rogue's vision, there is still 1 changeling in the main. Changelings that do get by. Nidus Worm into the main base as well. There are some Liberators though. So ByuN, he will deal with this. But again, all it takes is 1 Nidus. All it takes is 1 unscattered Nidus Worm to get up for everything to just snowball out of control. Likewise, Rogue, he has a decent economy behind this. I mean, the banks are quite comparable with each other. Rogue just has to be patient. Oh god, that's not being patient. Rogue, he just has to be patient. So we got mass EMP here on those Overseers. You have to be patient, but don't play like patience. That's the if you know, you know. Calm down. And once again, double Nidus. This is dealt with. Some nice Venn diagrams here at the northern base. We built up to how many? Up to 46 Overseers. What's important is that these Overseers, they've built up over time, and they've never really tried to dive into any of these bases yet. Right now, ByuN is being ideally starved out, but ByuN, he does look to claim another expansion. This is a big moment for ByuN. Rogue, he does have to stop this. See ByuN securing himself. Throwing down more turrets. More SimCity. Changelings, they make their way in. Nidus Worm into the main. Tank spread will shut this down. Rogue rotates. There is an army in position. Oh! Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Takes down 3 ghosts. Oh! Getting a 4th. Getting a 5th. And 5 ghosts go down. Massive pickoffs. There was a massive EMP on every single Overseer though. Jesus. These Overseers are so prone to stacking. ByuN, he does claim a fresh mining base. Rogue is going for top left. Now, when it comes to the overall bases here, it is important that Rogue does take one extra expansion, that is top left. So basically, now that every base has been taken, Rogue has one more base in his opponent, but Rogue has yet to mine. If Rogue is denied this expansion, then ByuN can outtrade him. Or he can just out-mine him, is maybe a better way of putting it. As the Terran army is more efficient. So traditionally the Zerg player needs to be up the base. Well, Hydra's moving in. Mass Changeling moving in as well. Lurkers, they push on the right hand side. But Liberation has arrived. We can see Rogue going into Swarm Hosts. Okay, I mean that would be a way to deal with these siege lines. Swarm Hosts have their place. Lurkers, they just rush past. There's only one tank. Yeah, only one tank. Only one tank in position. Tank goes down. Nice pickup. At the same time, top left is going to fall. We spoke about this. That base is so important here to Rogue. Likewise, space also important for ByuN. Top left is going to go down. Yeah, Lurkers have coming in. Going for the center expansion. And ByuN, he may just lose his base. Gets one, takes down two tanks. Now going for the planetary. Won't get it. Planetary does survive. ByuN, he ignores this. Goes to the mineral line. Trades well, he can always lift. Anti-air is very limited. What is the anti-air looking like? There's two Hydras. So ByuN is safe. ByuN is very safe here. Does lift, does pull away. Again, no anti-air. Only power bombs. ByuN does pull away. Oh! Power bomb does catch him out. Oof. Nice snipes. Very nice snipes. Catching what? 4 lurkers. 17 in total going down, and that is Lurkers wave here into the center. We'll take down the planetary. Hydra's a lunge in, and they catch out all the ghosts. Not bad. ByuN overextends. That's a lot of ghosts going down. At the same time, ByuN pushing on the right hand side, but this is getting desperate here. Again, these are siege units. They're out in the open. ByuN, he calms down, pulls away. Does pull back. This area is just so open now. Local save moving in. Liberators doing what they can. Lurkers, they go for the ghost. Nice cloak. Still very tense. Checking the main armies here, we have 23 swarm hosts. We have 0 lurkers. 0 lurkers left. Corruptors have built up. I will say that now that there are no lurkers, these overseers have a little bit less usefulness here. I guess they can still protect some units when it comes to protecting them against ghosts and snipes. True. Local save is coming in. Oh, the cloak does not work. Yeah, Spore was in position. Brutal loss there for ByuN. And here we go. He collapses in. Nice kiting here from those ghosts. Ghosts they kite back well. But everything else does crumble. And Rogue can remax. He will remax instantly on going into Broodlords. Greater Spire is done, and Broodlords on the horizon. Rogue, he isn't mining from bottom right or top left. No mining. Now these overseers, they can help protect these Broodlords. Assuming they morph in for now, just Locust Waves. Yo, it's 2014 all over again. 2015 more apt, I think. But the last 22 drones going to be going down. Is it this one bid? Oh, not quite. But mining is lacking here. Rogue is running out of money. He's running. I say he's running. I mean, he has a bank, don't get me wrong, but his income here is lacking. As Liberator is dealt with. You can see ByuN, he does need to create an opening. Another local save moving in. ByuN now going into Thor's. Does mass on siege the tanks. Local save, how many tanks does he get? He gets one, he gets two. I'll pick up. Say 2 tanks going down there. Jesus. Because so many units have died, like this battle report has been building up for the past 6 minutes. 6-minute battle report, let's go. 201 locusts. Jesus. Meanwhile, Lingbane rolls in, Corruptors, they shut down every single Liberator. And massive pickups. ByuN out of position, base goes down, Elevated SCVs as well. Meanwhile, Roki does resaturate that center left base. He has yet to saturate top left. Likewise, doesn't have bottom right either. As bases are going to be falling, ByuN, he's down to what, half of base mining? This is the last mining base here for ByuN. Takes down top left. Last no real saturation. It's the center left base here that's the most valuable. Army sizes are comparable with each other. Rogue going for a counterattack here, trading a base for a base. Expansions are falling. Rogue does save his drones, does evacuate, and Rogue responds. Oh my god, Jesus. The mass knives. Snipes, they come in, but ByuN getting surrounded. Lingbane doesn't quite get the surround though. ByuN, he gets away. Whew. Does get away. One Thor does get surrounded though by the changelings. Gets locked down. We have 15 more swarm hosts in production. Jesus. It's a lot of swarm hosts. Hi. That's gonna be about 34 swarm hosts. Jesus Christ. ByuN rotates. It still has that center base. Still up and running. Rogue, he's again burning through his bank. I mean, both players are at this point. Rogue has one patch in the center. He's long distance mining towards bottom right. ByuN, he sees this long distance mining, by the way. He does see this with the CC. He's aware. Rogue, he now notices the command center. Local save moves in. Command center is going to go down. There's the mass cloak. No detection. Very clean defense there. And this is the big problem here with swarm hosts. Now this is dead supply. Now this is all dead supply. This is ByuN's moment. He moves out. This base is going to go down. Rogue has nothing to defend. He has some banelings, that is true. And he's going for the ghost. Up! The splits! He pulls away. Whew. Does pull away in time. Base goes down. And now we have a Locust Wave. It's ready. Rogue's moving in. Does move in. Here come the Overseers as well. Ghosts have to kite back. Banelings, they roll forward. And the Ghosts, they do sit in the ground. Yeah, ByuN, he takes this. He takes this, he wins the fight, he shuts down the bases, and Rogue, he is in deep trouble here. He has nothing to defend. These swarmers, they do nothing. They're dead supply, but they're dead. 11 drone kills. ByuN getting chased around by all the changelings. Changelings, they do surround one of the Thors. Oh, never mind. And Rogue, he has to wait for that next Locust Wave. Like, the problem is that every time there's Locust Wave, every time it fails, I should say, or every time it's on cooldown, he is vulnerable. This is where Rogue has to start staggering at this point. He has to start staggering those Locust Waves. Takes down one tank. I say staggering, he just sends everything. And now we have another big window here where they do nothing. And now Kite's back. It's not a single unit goes down to this. And now we have another big window in time where Rogue, he has what, like half the supply to work with? ByuN takes bottom left. Rogue taking top left. Sorry, bottom right. Say. Takes bottom right. Again, Rogue, we have to be so more careful with these Locust waves. We can't waste them. Locust wave is moving in. ByuN, he scans. He does see this. There's a mass cloak. As a reminder, no detection. So the Ghosts, they're perfectly fine. Locust, they get one tank. They get one tank, that's all they get. Once again, now we have a big moment here for ByuN. Now there is a lot of Ling Bane massing up. Now these Banelings, their goal should be to punish the Ghosts if they push on creep. That should be the goal here for the Ling Bane. Meanwhile, top left fully saturated, so is bottom right. But again, Rogue, he did mine from bottom right that much more. Top left is a fresher base. Ghosts, they tease the army. They flirt with the idea of moving in. Here comes another Locust wave. Uh-oh. The Ghosts are trapped. No! ByuN, he's out of position. He doesn't see this. Yeah, ByuN, he rotates back around. He should be able to cloak. Yeah, he cloaks. Yeah, he's fine. He cloaks. He will lose one Thor. And a second Thor, barely not. So one Thor goes down. ByuN is pushing in. And again, the one hope for Rogue is for ByuN to overextend and to catch ByuN with all the Ling Bane. With all the Ling Bane. I love that ByuN is making more Hellbats. It's a very cheap way, but it's an answer here to these changelings. And to Ling Bane, of course. Here we go. Locust wave moving in. Yeah, does spot this. Locust wave gets one tank. Not even, Jesus, gets nothing. Oh, God. Locust wave doesn't kill anything. ByuN moving in. There's 25 Banelings. And again, Rogue, he is in trouble here. Banelings have to commit. They don't get anything yet. Nice spread by ByuN. Locust wave is ready in a couple of seconds. Uh-oh. ByuN, he is clearing up some creep, to be fair. But here comes that Locust wave. ByuN, he has to pull out. He is spread. Yeah, does spot it. Does pull back. Again, he has to respect the Locust wave. Ling Bane rolling in. This is Rogue's moment. Does go for the tithe. Goes that kite back well. The Banelings do not connect. Locust wave runs out. And that was it. That's all the Rogue had. Now it's time to push in. Now Rogue, he still has the space mining. So Rogue, he's remaxing, he's rebuilding. ByuN doesn't push forward. I mean, again, the Banelings just ran out. That was his moment. Like, there's no Ling Bane. There was no Ling Bane. There was literally nothing to stop the army. ByuN, of course, doesn't know that, but that was a missed opportunity for sure. It was a big missed opportunity. As now ByuN, he abandons bottom right, so this expansion is exposed. Rogue should knock it down. This might be worth it though. So ByuN is going to abandon this expansion, but the goal here is to rotate towards the top side and rotate towards the actual only mining base of Rogue. If he can knock down that base, he can potentially end the game. Here comes Ling Bane. Ghosts, they're a little bit exposed. Nice split. Nice spread. Here comes a Locust wave. ByuN, he's deep on creep. Locust wave is moving in. ByuN, he has to make a stand. Detection now moves forward. Oh, and Ghosts are going down. Massive pickup. ByuN is going to lose everything. Yeah, one bad fight. ByuN losing half his Ghosts. Ay. Half the Ghosts go down. ByuN, he plummets in supply. That was the worst fight he's taken so far. He does take down the expansion, but that was brutal. That was how many? That was 18 Ghosts. And ByuN, he's out of a bank. He has no bank. Up until this moment, ByuN, he's been trading very well. Sometimes one bad fight is all it takes, and Rogue, he's back in this. Now, Rogue, he has no income. He has 0 income at the moment. I guess his long distance mining, true. Local save moves in. See ByuN, he tries to rotate, but again, he has no bank. Like, what you see is what you get here. And the problem is that Rogue has income. He can still potentially max out himself. Again, up until that final fight, I was favoring ByuN, 100%. I was favoring him, but he got too excited. He pushed too far into creep. He got caught out. ByuN was outpositioned. And now things are looking bleak for ByuN. Very bleak. He mines out bottom right. He needs top left. He needs that expansion. He is floating over, so he knows. He is aware. Let's catch a queen. Pushing forward. Locust Wave is on cooldown. True. I didn't realize, but there was a wasted Locust Wave here on the right hand side. So ByuN clears up so much of that creep. Like, Rogue is in a good position, but that doesn't mean we can waste a Locust Wave, so he has to be careful. Speaking of, Locust Wave is going to be designed to zone. ByuN pulls away. Takes down all the active tumors. Locust Wave gets spent. How much Ling Bane is there? 13. Only 13 Banelings. And only 19 Lings. I would want to see ByuN still pushing top left though. Like he needs to take this expansion. Oh, not a bad catch. Rogue, he's finally staggering. Okay. I appreciate it. Rogue finally staggering his Locust Waves. Would have been useful earlier, but it's fine. It's fine. Yo, we got the surround. Change things. They look down the army. Yeah, nice surround here. And Rogue, he will shut this down. He collapses in with his Banelings. Nice cloak. Very nice cloak. Nice snipes as well. Now, when it came to the trade, I believe mainly connecting with Hellbats, yeah. 9 Hellbats went down. So the Hellbat count almost reset. Rogue, he is now retaking that base. ByuN, he has some economy here with these mules. But his army's not in position to defend. At this point, I feel like ByuN should be here on the top side. Like, he needs to protect this area. As he's not really accomplishing much down here. Like, there's like empty bases, empty hatcheries. Like, there isn't much to accomplish. Oh, CC's gonna go down. Aye. That is a brutal pickoff. But we get the mass migration here out of ByuN. Locust Wave is available. Oh, ByuN has to pull out. Again, Rogue staggering his Locust Waves. Does have another ready. Once again, we'll look for any kind of changing surround as they try to look down the army. I guess down here, ByuN is fighting with a planetary. I suppose it's going to go down. Planetary does fall. Doesn't save it. The Raxes are going to be killed in the center. Do we have an orbital? We do. So Ryung, sorry, keep saying Ryung. God damn it. Why do we have to be casting both players tonight? What ByuN, he can still float. He can still float over and still take an expansion. That is true. Oh. One ghost goes down. We'll lose 2 ghosts actually. Locust Wave moving forward. Going for the SCVs. Ooh, the SCVs do turn and fight. They will go down. Rogue, he has half a mining base. He can make mineral. He can make lings. from here, there's not actually that much support. Snipe's popping up. ByuN, he does have some momentum, but he has to preserve this army. Does need to preserve. Changelings are locking him down, at least trying to. I love the changing whole position micro that we're seeing here. Like unironically, it is impacting some of these fights. Yeah, the surround! He comes in! The changelings! They're locking him down! Oh god! The whole position! Oh my god, it tries to lock him down, does get one tank! Yeah, one tank falls. Changelings, they're going for the other tanks! No! Yeah, the Bailings, they catch him out as well. Yeah, deep on creep. And that's going to be the final fight as almost every ghost falls. GG gets called, and Rogue, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the winners match. GG. Whew. Hi. GG, well played. ByuN, he was in a better position for a decent period of this game in the middle, or towards the tail end, I should say, up until that one moment. You remember, it's the moment when ByuN did rotate towards the top side. He was deep on creep, and when he got flanked by the changelings, by the locusts as well. It was one brutal fight. If you recall, ByuN, he lost 18 ghosts. He lost 18 ghosts in that one fight. Up until that moment, ByuN was playing so incredibly well. I was so impressed by his movement, by his control, by his cloak micro, I should say, cleaning up locust waves, catching out Ling Bane. But it was a really bad fight. It was a brutal fight that went heavily in favor of Rogue. It was after that moment that ByuN lost any kind of momentum. He lost any kind of momentum in that game. He lost 18 ghosts in one brutal moment, and with that, Rogue did snowball out of control, and Rogue does claim the win. GG, well played. Whew. There was also another moment, if you remember, when ByuN was, it was before that moment, when ByuN took a better fight towards the south side, where he was able to clear the locust wave, and he cleared the Ling Bane without losing a single ghost. I think he lost one tank, and we were like, yo, let's go. Like, if you remember, we were looking at the units tab, Rogue had nothing. He had a bunch of swarm hosts, which with no locust wave. He had a bunch of corruptors, which couldn't shoot down, and he had just lost all of his Ling Bane. That was also another big opportunity for ByuN, which he didn't go for. If you remember, he backed off, he rotated instead, and alas, we saw Rogue stabilize from there. So there were a couple of key moments, and with that GG well played, Rogue does claim the series, and now we are getting ready for the winners match. Let's go.